Hello, everyone. Like my mom said, my name is Addie, and I welcome to the Black History Month dinner series, Sunday dinner series. And like she said, we're going to make vegetarian jambalaya. We're going to do cornbread. So for this one, we're just going to hop right into it because we got a lot of steps. So I did say on there, just a package of cornbread. I'm using Jiffy. Jiffy is my favorite cornbread mix. I grew up with it. So I prepped up my cornbread and I got it in my pan. You can do it as a corn pan, in a square pan, circle pan. I did one box, but if you want a lot more cornbread, you could do 2 boxes and just double the recipe. And then I just like squirt a little bit of honey in there. I'll probably say maybe a tablespoon of honey. And so I'm just gonna put this in let it bake in the oven for like 15, 20 minutes. And I'm just gonna go ahead and set my timer I'm gonna start off with 15 minutes. And then when it's done, I'm gonna check it. And if it needs an extra 5, I'm gonna add extra 5. So let's jump into it. All right, so I'm gonna pull out the recipe as well. Because like I said, it seems like there's a lot of parts. So if you have the recipe on you, if you're cooking with me, let's bring it out, let's do it. So we're gonna start off with a little bit of prep. So we're gonna do one chopped onion. It can be, I like to use yellow onions. It could be white. I wouldn't recommend red onions, but I just already chopped those up. I pre-chopped them because onions make your girl cry. So we got that already set up, and we got 1.5 cups. We got frozen okra. You can use fresh okra, but if you're in Minnesota watching, you're not gonna get fresh okra. So frozen is okay. We got some paprika. We got our dry parsley. I got seasoning salt. The brand I like to use Morton's Season All. Some people like Lawry's, but Lawry's is a little too salty. That is high blood pressure right there. A lot of Black people like Lawry's. Black people need to break the shackles of Lawry's seasoning salt. Morton's is way better. We also got some black pepper, some oregano, and then I got a green pepper, 2 stalks of celery, and I got some zucchini. They don't have to be small, but these were the last 2 in here, and I was so grateful we had some because I was like, if we ain't got no zucchini, what I'm gonna do? All right, so let's go ahead. I'm just gonna go ahead and slice my zucchini. Get my nice not that one. There we go. All right. Oh, today's the last day of Black History Month too. But like I said, every month is Black History Month. Black History Month is all year round. But so thickness. Let's see. I say about this size of thickness is good, but when I chop up zucchini, I can never get it super similar, so try to get it as close as possible. And then I'm also gonna half moon it as well. So go ahead and slice that up. And I keep the skin on. If you don't like the skin on zucchini, you can take it off. I've never seen a skinless zucchini, if we gonna be real. But there's some people who don't like the skin of zucchini, so. Oops.
Addie, you're getting lots of compliments on your outfit.
Oh, thank you. It's like Sprinter here, but like real Sprinter, because it's supposed to be winter in Minnesota, but it's like 37 degrees and sunny. This is not normal, but it's great.
If someone even asked if you're a NOLA girl.
No, I am not. Like if I'm from there, no, I'm from Minnesota, born and raised here. I just have, it may be my accent, because everywhere I go, like people like, oh, when I go out of town, people are like, oh, do you know how to get here? And I'd be like, no, I'm from Minnesota. Like, no, I can tell you how to get to 28th in Portland, all the way to 38th in Portland, in Minneapolis. I cannot tell you how to get to Crenshaw Boulevard in California. But yeah, like I said, we're just gonna cut them in like some half moons. You can like cut them up like if you have kids and they don't like zucchini, you can even cut it like in some quarters. But I'm gonna do halves. Now I'm thinking, should I do quarters? No, we're overthinking. Don't overthink it. Just do what you think does best. I see I have some people cooking? It looks like we do. Awesome. Is this any of you guys' first time eating or even making jambalaya? I've made homemade jambalaya, but I definitely don't mind some good old box average jambalaya. The jambalaya is good. I'm not gonna say it's sacrilege. It's good jambalaya. It's easy. It's quick. But with jambalaya too, you can add shrimp, chicken, sausage, beef. I've done mine with chicken, sausage, and shrimp. It's so good. But I want to try something different and do a vegetarian one. And I have made a vegetarian. Am I vegetarian? No. I mean, obviously not. I said I put shrimp and chicken in my jambalaya. But I love meat, so I can never give up meat. All right, so I'm just gonna place it in this bowl, just for now. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cut up. Got 2 stalks of celery. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut down some of this out of the way so y'all can see. I wanna make sure we're on good timing as well. So we're just gonna chop that up. I can't tell you the thickness either because like I can never get celery to be the same thickness at all. Oh yeah, and if this is your first time joining me, I've said this last time, you may have noticed I am chopping with long nails. How does she do it? How does she do it? It is practice. Practice makes perfect. This is the longest I've had them, but I've always had long nails, so it's like I kind of already know what I can do. If you have a question like, have you ever cut your nails? Yes, I have. I even have a little cut one of them, but I have a nail file. I just file that so it's all even. I said in my last class that I'd rather cut my skin than my nail because I can put a Band-Aid on my finger, but the nails cost money. And I hate when I cut my nails. So I'm like, oh no. And I think I'm like gonna cut the whole tip off. All right.
So to know, what do you think about adding black-eyed peas to this recipe? Would that work?
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you something. I don't like beans, so I can't tell you yes or no. So yeah, I would say no. I've never seen or heard jambalaya with black-eyed peas, but I mean, definitely go for it. It might be very heavy though because there's rice in the jambalaya, and I know beans and rice together can be. But like I said, I don't eat beans, so I mean, go for it. I'm not gonna tell you if it's good or not. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and dice or chop up my green pepper. Oh, I am moving fast today too. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous because there's a lot of people on here today. And I'm grateful that you all found this class, especially if you're from out of state or even out of the country. Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah, we have folks from all over: Texas, Canada,
Ooh.
Boston, Las Vegas, Indianapolis, Jersey City,
Wow.
Baltimore, Delaware. more Texas folks,
Wow.
Montana. Definitely someone from NOLA, and they said that you seem like you are from NOLA. That you are their people.
Oh, that's hilarious. Thank you. I'm gonna just go down there and just talk and see if they know sometimes they probably. But thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, Ohio, Pennsylvania, UK, Florida, Australia.
Oh wow, it's Australia.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. UK. Oh my gosh. I do a pretty good, terrible British accent. I'll say that. A little bit Cockney, but I'm not gonna do that. It's for another time. But yeah, I'm just dicing it up. Just gonna go ahead and dice it up. Oh, one thing I did want to talk about, because since this is the last day of Black History Month, and I am a big movie buff, so I want to talk about some movies and some directors you've never heard about, and like some good movie recommendations, like something that isn't like Black trauma. When I mean Black trauma, I mean like slavery movies or like Jim Crow movies. You know, sometimes as a Black person, that stuff gets old. It's like, I know this happens. Like, it's like ingrained in me. It's like when a Black person is born, it's like you are already waking up to trauma. So I like movies that are a little more fun, you know? Like people I know who make really good movies that aren't traumatic or anything, and they're funny. Keenan Ivory Wayans and Robert Townsend. Those two, like a lot of people know, like the Black directors and producers they really know of is like Spike Lee and John Singleton, but not a lot of people talk about Keenan Ivory Wayans and Robert Townsend. Like they were very influential people. And I don't know if any of you know the Scary Movie series, but Keenan Ivory Wayans did the first two, which were the funniest ones. The rest of them went downhill. I don't care what you say. Don't argue with me about it. But I definitely say check out some of their movies. They do good parody movies. One of my favorite Robert Townsend movie, you have to check it out. It is like Black Bible, 5 Heartbeats. Best hand down movie. They're not real people though. When I saw the movie, I thought it was a real artist because the songs are some bangers, but they're not. But it's a really good movie. Like it gives you that whole Motown scene and everything. I definitely say check it out. He does another good movie called Hollywood Shuffle, which is like set in like, I believe it's like in the 90s or 80s, but it's like Black actors trying to get in the acting scene. And when they audition for roles, it's like a lot of white casting directors and they're like, we want you to laugh like Eddie Murphy. I don't know. But, or they want it to be like a pimp, like, hey, Dad, you know, stuff like that. And like how, you know, they're tired of that. And that is like true, like, you know, do I have to be the slave and run away, you know? And that's even still for today. It's like, do I really want to play that role? You know, it gets old. So, but yeah, check out that movie. Some Keenan Ivory Wayans movie. Oh, a really good one. Don't Be a Menace While Drinking Your Hood in South Central. That is a parody of all gangster hood movies. It is hilarious. And gangster movies are kind of like trauma movies, in my opinion, because like, hey, people like dying every day. But yeah, that is a good one. And Blank Man. Good. That's a superhero movie. Look, first Batman. He like Black Batman, but better, funnier. He's like a nerd, you know, but his brother is played by David Alan Grier. Damon Wayans is in it, and his brother is played by David Alan Grier. And his brother always has to come in. David Alan Grier always has to come in and kind of save the day because Blank Man really can't fight. He's like a nerd. But it's a good movie. It's a good movie. So yeah, check it out. Check it out. All right.
Someone wanted to know if they wanted to add meat into the cooking, when would they do that?
Good question. So it depends on the meat you're using. So you can pre-cook your meat already. You don't have to do it while you're cooking it. I definitely recommend, like, if it's raw, you should probably cook it first, because like I would put it in with the rice and the onion. So I definitely say cook it separate first, and then put it in like when you're about to like put in all your other ingredients. Like I would say, I'll tell you once we get there. I'll tell you when you can put it in. But I definitely recommend cooking it first. Because I've always cooked it first, and a lot of times when I use sausage too, I would the sausage is usually pre-cooked anyway. So, and then if you're using like shrimp, raw shrimp, then you want to put that close to there because that's going to that shrimp don't take that long. All right, so I have everything pretty much chopped up. I gotta mince up this garlic, but I'm gonna heat up my skillet. This is about like a large, little deep skillet we have here. You could use like a nice size pot too if you don't have a skillet like this. I was here and I was like, oh Lord, what am I gonna use? So I was like, I had to put some water and see if it was all going up. And it did, it worked out. So
and then someone to know if you're using the vegetarian Jiffy or the regular mix.
Oh no, I'm just using the regular mix. I mean, I'm not vegetarian, but from my understanding, you can correct me or I'm not a vegetarian. So vegetarians usually don't, oh, it's my timer. Vegetarians don't eat flesh, right? But you can consume egg and milk.
I think that just depends.
I think it depends on the person too. But Jiffy, like the mix doesn't have no meat byproduct in it. I mean, you only just have to use eggs and milk, but let me check on this cornbread. Hold on. But when I make cornbread at home, I use almond milk. I just didn't do that for this one because we don't sell single small, what's that called? Almond milk. So, and I didn't want to bring my whole carton of almond milk here. So I just use some regular milk, but you can definitely do almond milk. I like it with almond milk. Changed my life. But my cornbread is done. See, 15 minutes. I didn't poke a hole in it, but I can tell this is done. It looked done. Ooh. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just put some butter in it. And since this is cold and that's hot, I'm just gonna rub it on there. Then it's gonna melt on there. That's how I've always done it. I know some people get fancy and they like drizzle some honey on it. If you want to get fancy, you do that. But yeah, there's that. We got our pan heating up. I'll scoot that over to the side. The perk of having long nails, you just move stuff forward and not burn a fingertip. Okay, so my pan is heating up.
And then
Yes.
someone asked that, did you already chop the okra?
Oh no, so it's frozen okra. The okra, now I don't know if, depending on the store you're at, but I know I use frozen, a lot of it's already sliced. This one is the Woodstock, like organic brand we have here, but you can get sliced okra from anywhere. But yeah, I mean, if it's fresh, definitely slice it up. But I've never seen whole okra frozen. So, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add in just drizzle some olive oil. You can use whatever oil you want to use. Olive oil is just convenient. Just drizzle that in there. And then, what does it say? We do need to mix the tomato paste with the broth, but we're just gonna put the onion and the celery and the pepper. We're just gonna go ahead and just cook that right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and add in my chopped onion. Add in the celery. And then it doesn't say on the recipe, but I'm just gonna put some salt and pepper in it anyway. You can definitely do that. Just sprinkle some on there. I know everybody got salt and pepper in their cabinet. You ain't got salt and pepper. What are you doing with your life? I mean, unless you're not from this country, I don't know if salt and pepper is a safe line. I can't say that. But I know it is here.
So I want to know do you think Old Bay will work as a substitute for seasoned salt.
Oh yeah! I use Old Bay on my chicken instead of seasoned salt sometimes. So yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I put Old Bay on almost everything, and same with Cajun seasoning. All right, I'm just let that cook for a bit. And then since that's cooking, and I did turn my heat down just a little bit so it don't burn. But I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna make our little broth or whatever. So we just need 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. And it's good on my close right here, then I can stir it up, you know. So I'm just gonna scoop out tomato paste. Trying to get as much as you can out of there. You don't waste no food, especially if your tomato paste costs a lot of money. You want to get every penny and dollar. And then we're gonna use vegetable broth. So make sure your vegetable broth is shaken up. And we're gonna do about 5 cups of vegetable broth. Let me just go ahead and stir my veggies real quick. I love the smell of onions and celery together. Okay. All right, so let's move all this stuff off the way. All right, so I'm gonna do about 5 cups of the vegetable broth. This is a 2-cup measuring cup. Oh, I don't know if I got this bowl big enough. I think I'm gonna need a bigger bowl. That's a little Jaws reference. If you've seen Jaws, when he's like, I think we're gonna need a bigger bowl. Like I said, I love movies. I'm a movie nerd. Oh, I guess I can give you more movie recommendations too. If you like musicals, you know I'm gonna tell you Dreamgirls. But the one you need to get is rented, I think like on iTunes. I don't know if Amazon Prime has it. But they have the director's cut on there, or the director's edition. And that has like some extra scenes I ain't never seen before. And I was like, what? And then I love the songs, of course. My husband hates watching it with me because I'm always singing all the songs, but he don't live. All right, just figuring it out. Just want to keep checking on it since I'm close by. And then I'm just gonna. It's so weird that vegetable broth is colored. I would think it would be clear because it's vegetable. Whatever. All right. Let me get a. Let's just mix that up until it's well combined. Probably use a bigger bowl than this. I'm gonna make a mess. But you know, if it wasn't COVID, I'll have my mouth come up in here and help me in the kitchen. But it's COVID right now and stuff. I could have just given it to her over on the other side and just have her stir it up. So. But no, I'm not gonna put you where you go. I'm gonna get a whisk. I'm making my life hard. And I just, you know, I'm just gonna transfer it to a bigger bowl because this bowl ain't cut. It's just, I don't know what I was. So if you ever don't do what I did, use a bigger bowl. There we go. Yeah, that's way better. Then I can get this mixed up better. And, oh yeah, bigger bowl. Oh, exactly. You know, sometimes I don't be thinking all the way. It's all right. We're cooking together. All the ingredients I got here at Seward Co-op. We are a cooperative grocery store. So what that means is like, we're more like community owned, community run. So like people who shop here who are members, they get to pick the board members. It's not like a big corporation. So we actually like to take in consideration of what people want and what the people need. And what's different from us in major grocery stores is a lot of our stuff is local, sustainable, and organic. So we're pretty much a big deal here. And we do a lot of like these virtual classes too. All right, so our celery and our garlic is like slightly, soft and tender. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mince this garlic. I like to add in garlic last because I don't want it to burn. It's always tend to burn my garlic. Let me set this to the side. We're just gonna mince the garlic real quick. It ain't gonna be pretty, just get it minced up. All right, let's get that minced up. Oh, I guess movie stuff. If you like horror, sci-fi, I love horror sci-fi movies. Vampire in Brooklyn is a good one that has Eddie Murphy in it. Really good movie. And the late great John Witherspoon, he's in it as well. That's a good horror movie. Some people might say it's bad, but it is for the culture. Another one, now this one's a newer one, like everybody knows Get Out and Us, but there's this other one called Black Box. It's on Amazon Prime. It's Amazon Prime original. And it's like, Felicia Rashad is in it. If you don't know who she is, she played Claire Huxtable in the Cosby's. She's in it. And she's like this doctor who like helping this man who's been like in a coma or whatever. And like, he's just slowly trying to get himself back together. And then like he has these like dreams where like someone's like trying to get out. It's crazy. You have to check it out. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and add in our rice. You don't have to rinse off your rice. We're gonna do about 1.5 cups of uncooked rice. We're gonna put that in there. And we're gonna just toast it. Slightly. It don't have to be really brown. Just let's get a good cook on there. So like about a minute. All right. So where we at next? All right. So we add in our rice, and like I said, add it to roast for like a minute. And then we're gonna go ahead and put in our mixture. Make sure it's mixed up really good. You don't want none of the clumps in there. Like I said, get whisk that bad bitty up. It will look like this. It look like ketchup juice. But yeah, and then we're just gonna pour that right in there. All right, let's just go ahead. Next up. Yes. So we're gonna go ahead and reduce heat. And we're gonna let it simmer. We're gonna cover it and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. Let me get the cover. All right, let's cover that. So while that's simmering, Mima, you want to comment with the camera? We're gonna go ahead and start sauteing our zucchini and our okra. So let's go ahead. Let's set a timer for 10 minutes as well. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. I'm a millennial. So Siri come in handy, but sometimes she don't want to listen. I'm like, hey Siri. Okay, but yeah, let's go ahead and heat this pan up like a medium high heat. I have like this is like a flat one, so these take a while to heat up. But make sure you are checking on your rice still, because you don't want it to stick. So just...
Can you just remind folks what is supposed to be simmering? Someone just asked.
Oh yeah, so you want to simmer in. So we put in our rice with our celery and onion, garlic, and green peppers. And then we put in our rice, let that toast. I'm using jasmine rice. Personally, I like basmati rice. Use whatever rice you want. Don't use sushi rice. And then I just poured in the tomato paste and vegetable broth mixture. So for your vegetable broth, you need 5 cups, and you just need 1 6-ounce can of tomato paste. And you put that in, mix it up, reduce your heat, and cover it for about 10 minutes. And it's still, let me make sure I got it on the right burner. Okay, I do. Still heating up. All right, so where are we at in our next step? I'm gonna take a swig of sweet tea. Don't judge me, it's McDonald's. But it's good, their sweet tea is amazing. Oh no, I got tomato paste on my shirt. But a cook is always messy, remember that. Because my kitchen be looking a mess when I cook, but the food be good. All right, so I'm just waiting for this to heat up a little bit. Once we get there, I'm just gonna add in some oil. I got a little bit of onion in here. Let's see, come on. All right, I'm gonna put in a little bit of oil, olive oil. Here we go. If you want to know, do I have a favorite Black director? I'm gonna be a little cliche and say Spike Lee, but only because the cinematography, which I don't think he gets enough credit for, is amazing. And you can tell a Spike Lee movie by the cinematography. If you're really a big movie fan and like really be analyzing movies, you can tell a director by their camera technique and how they really is. And Spike Lee does a lot of things where he does zoom, or he'll do a thing where it looks like the main character is like floating or gliding when they walk. He does it real good in Malcolm X movie. He does it in a lot of the movies, but Malcolm X is the one that's really like, it's a scene you always remember because it's the scene where he's going to speak at like a church or something, and it's like he already knows his impending doom is coming. So it's like that scene, and you can feel the intensity. And as I watch the movie, like I already know what happens, but I'd be like, no, Malcolm, don't do it, brother, don't do that. But before my time was born, so of course, you know, he's gonna be killed. But yeah, he's a really good director, and then you can tell by like the music he uses too. A lot of horns in his movies. You'll notice that. One of his recent movies that came out, The Five Bloods, was actually pretty good. I did have a little beef, and it was just like the blood spatter part. It just looked so fake. Like, I get people are on budget, but like the CGI blood, like you might as well not even do it. And then like when they were shooting the guns, like the flashing light was all like a little delayed. That's what my husband told me. He was in the Navy Reserve, so he not. So he was like, it's a little delayed. But I still say check it out. Chadwick Boseman's in it. R.I.P. a great. He's in it. It's probably like one of his few last movies he did, besides the one he did with Viola Davis. And no, have not seen that movie yet. I'm just checking up on my rice just a little bit. So you just want to cook your okra and your zucchini till it's like a little bit soft. And then also you want your okra to be cooked and it's frozen. And it is gonna be slimy. But that's because it's frozen. But if you don't like okra, you don't have to use okra. You can not use okra. I mean, yeah, you don't have to use okra if you don't like okra.
Yeah, for someone asked for jambalaya, could they just use any vegetables they have in the fridge? Or would that not?
I mean, it would probably be your own spin on jambalaya. I mean, I couldn't see why not. I feel like with soul food, like some people probably like, you can't do that sacrilege, but like, I feel like with soul food, like you also add your own spin. Like with a lot of meals, like if you have, like, especially when it comes to like fried food, like catfish and fried chicken in the Midwest is probably not gonna taste the same as it is in the South, or like in the East Coast or the West. So I mean, it couldn't hurt to try. I mean, we get a little kick on it, just be like, this is blah, 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 jambalaya specialty, boom. You know, it's an original, you know. So, it wouldn't hurt. Usually, sometimes when I cook and people like, can you do this? I'll only tell you no if I'm like, no, it ain't. But like, I don't think not, you know, adding your own veggies. But I definitely say, depending on what it is, like if it's a carrot or something, you probably want to put your carrot in when you did the celery and when we did the celery and stuff, because carrots take a while to cut. So, I'm just gonna go back in over here and just check that stirred up a little bit. It smells good, looks good. All right, we're almost there to adding in our okra. I just want to check in on our recipe. So then once our okra is a little more done cooked, and after about 10 minutes on this, we're gonna add in our okra and our zucchini, and then we're gonna add in our spices. I wonder, is there anybody on here that actually knows me? Because I've been telling a bunch of people that know me to be in here. And if I have people who know me and on here, then you ain't a real one. It's all.
There's some folks that joined before your previous classes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. All right. Ooh, it's getting there. It's looking good. Ooh. Oh, see, stuff's always popping out of here. There we go again. This pan's not that big for me, so Lord have mercy. All right, there we go, there we go. All right, so that's about done. This is looking really good, y'all. I hope y'all, whoever's cooking with me, I hope it looks just as good. We got about like 2 minutes, like 2 minutes on the rice. I'm just gonna set that up there. Just cause like, this was a flat surface, so I don't want to cook anymore. But if you have like an open fire, you can just turn your fire off. Oh, yes, it smells good. I see the person with the red scarf on. I love it. It looks cute. I'm digging the scarf and the girl with the pink hair. Okay, I see it. Cute. Okay. I've always wanted color hair when I was a kid. My mom would be like, no, that's too grunge. When I have a kid, I'm gonna be a cool mom. I'm gonna be like, you want your hair colored? Let's do it. You know, because why not? Yeah, kid, let's have some fun. But all right, so we're about at our 10-minute mark. So let's go ahead and add in our zucchini and okra. And then let's go ahead and add in our spices. We got our paprika, dry parsley, some seasoning salt, oregano, and pepper. So, oh yeah, I remember someone wanted to know when they can add meat. So you can add in your meat before you added your zucchini, and depending on the meat it is, like if it's chicken or something, you can add in that, like probably even add that too when you put in the zucchini and stuff. But if you're doing shrimp, like if it's raw shrimp, I'd say maybe like 5 minutes close to the end, because like I said, shrimp cooks fast. And if it's already pre-cooked shrimp, then I say like put that like really close to the end. Now, if you're using shrimp and you want to know what seasoning you want to use, I definitely recommend garlic powder, Old Bay, salt, and pepper, and some paprika. How much you put in there? I don't know. You got eyeball. You just got to fill it with salt, fill it with spirit. All right, so we have all that mixed up. We're gonna cover it, and you're gonna put the top on, let it cook for 10 minutes. But when we let it cook for 10 minutes, you have to stay in the kitchen. I said this in the last class. don't leave your kitchen. Stay by the food because you're gonna have to constantly stir this. I believe I said that in the recipe too. But it is starting to thicken up too. It's looking good in the hood. But yeah, it's looking good. But yeah, we want to constantly stir it for about 10 minutes. Let's set a timer for 10 minutes. Hey Siri, set a timer for 10 minutes. Siri's an amazing person when she wants to do her job. Sometimes she don't want to do her job. But yeah, like I want to also say again, thank you all for joining me. I like to make a lot of my cooking classes where we cook, but we also I want it to seem like we're a family, because that's what Sunday dinner is. It's like you come together with your family. You know, a lot of times it'll be like after church, because I don't know about y'all, but the church I grew up going to is 2 hours long. And a lot of times it'll be like an hour and a half of praise, dancing, and singing. Now, these do be lit, but it depends on the song. And then, but yeah, and then after that, you know, your family come together and have like a nice meal on Sundays. And you know, it's a good time. All the family would come together. You just make a huge meal. For me, because today is the last day of Black History Month, I am going to make my famous fried chicken because I was up last night until like maybe 2 in the morning. Don't ask me why. And I was just like, oh my God, I want fried chicken. And so I woke up my husband, I was like, how do you feel about fried chicken? Because I was gonna make hamburgers. And he was like, okay. And then I'm gonna make that with a loaded baked potato. And then I told him this morning and he didn't know what I said. And that's why I was like, see, I tell you, you don't listen. But yeah, so I'm gonna make fried chicken. And I make really good fried chicken. My friend's always like, why didn't you tell me? Like, she gets all depressed. And I'm like, girl, chill, you don't live. Like, I ain't trying to say, you know, you never gonna have my fried chicken. And she's had it before. So, oh, wow, I feel like I'm missing something. Or did I just buy the diced tomatoes?
I was just gonna ask.
Yes,
because
somebody probably said it.
There are a lot of questions, but I don't want to interrupt you.
No.
When do we add
the diced tomatoes? You're supposed to add that right now. I looked at the can. I caught it. Mama, why don't you say something?
You want to flow. I didn't want to.
Okay.
I wanted to find the right
Let's
time.
add it right now. It's never too late. I knew something was missing too. I felt it in my spirit. I did. So, and when I looked to the left and I saw the can there, I was like, ooh, that's supposed to be in there. But I'm glad it was last. So we didn't really mess up. So that's good. But like I said, we got 10 minutes. Now, if you pass the 10 minutes and your rice is still like not cooked, then you don't just let it cook some more. You want to, it'll be about 10 to 15 minutes. You want to cook it until your rice is fully cooked. That's the key. And like most of your sauce is like evaporated because the rice is gonna soak up all that sauce. But you can start seeing right away, like it's already starting to thicken up. All the steam too is making me happy.
Now there's a question.
Yeah.
What size of the canned tomatoes are you using? Like someone's asking if they have a variety. Does it matter?
Yes, it does. You want to use a 14 ounce, the 14.5, so like the standard size can of diced tomatoes. That'd be the best to use.
And if someone uses bigger size, should they drain some of?
So you don't need to drain some of the sauce. So let's see, what size is your can? Would you say it's like double the can size? Because if it's double the can size, I say use half. But I mean, you could also do the math. Like one thing I do is like I Google how many cups in 14 ounces and do it that way too. But yeah, I definitely say if it's like just like half of this size, definitely just scoop out a half, and if it's smaller, do 2 cans. So yeah. Any more questions? You know, we got time for questions, y'all. You always kick it with us. You ask some questions, you ask questions. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we getting there. It's starting to thicken up. And like I said, you want to constantly like stir it too, because you don't want it to stick to the bottom of your pan. Ooh, I'm like out of breath. All this talking.
Yeah, I think you said this earlier, but maybe someone missed it. But
Yeah.
do you have any suggestions for substitution of seasoned salt?
Oh yeah. So you can use Obey, and I believe like what's in seasoned salt? So seasoned salt is like it has all that other extra stuff we don't need to worry about. But it looks like if you don't have seasoned salt, so it looks like it's salt with chili powder, black pepper, and celery seeds. Some onion, probably onion powder, garlic powder. So you can probably do that little mixture, even like put some of that stuff in there. That would work just fine. And then also you can use Obey, or you use like some Cajun seasoning. I definitely say use a seasoning that has this, you know, this little brown, little orange. I'll put a little bit in a little bit jar. I love seasoning, so I live by it. So something that is about that color, I definitely say. A lot of seasoning salts, if you can see, is about that color. So I definitely say use something like that. I wouldn't say use Mrs. Dash because Mrs. Dash ain't got flavor. So never buy that seasoning again. But yeah, we're going back in there. Ooh, it's really starting to thicken up.
And what would you recommend? Like, what type of sausage would be good for this dish?
Andouille. That is like, I believe that is even like, now I know there's people in here from Louisiana, so don't chew off my head. But I know, like, I believe in traditional jambalaya, it is andouille sausage. But like, if you don't do pork, you can do like turkey kielbasa or like a smoked sausage. But I believe traditionally jambalaya, because I believe jambalaya is more of a Louisiana dish. I mean, that's what I've always learned and told. And also, too, the box of Zatarine, he got a horn, he look like he in New Orleans. So yeah, but I've always known like andouille sausage. Andouille sausage too cute. Like if you're not a big spicy person, you might think it's a little spicy. It's got a little kick in there. Ooh, we're almost done too, y'all. We're almost there. Any other questions at all? You can even ask me questions about me as well, you know. Am I a comedian? No. I'm just good at making people laugh. So, and I have a big heart, so I guess a lot of people tell me like I'm like lighting up their day and stuff. So I like hearing that from people. So it's good. It makes me feel like, oh, people actually like me. You really like me.
Well, what other classes do you teach, and how can we find you?
Ooh, Lord. Okay. I am not really a cooking teacher person. So like, this is like probably my 4th class I've taught. But I do plan on doing some summer classes. We haven't posted them yet, and I haven't thought about doing them yet. I know I want to do something for Juneteenth, so I'm just trying to think of what I want to do for Juneteenth. I'm not going to do my fried chicken because I do it in buttermilk, and I let that sit in buttermilk for like 30 minutes to an hour. So don't be like, talk about your fried chicken, do your fried chicken. No. If we do that, then you're going to have to prep before we start. And like I have social media, but like my social media ain't got nothing to do with my cooking. It's more like, I guess like I try to do fashion stuff, and I like to talk about my skincare too. And sometimes I can get a little political on there too, because I'm an Aquarius, and I do love a good conspiracy theory too. So, I mean, if you want to follow my Instagram, you can, but don't go on there and try to bite my head off. My Instagram is so it's ADDI with 4 Z's at the end. So that's ADDI 4 Z's at the end. It's adds the I silent. So yeah, if you just want to follow my Instagram on there,
It's ADDI
and then 4 Z's. So there, like you can see my wedding photos, and I got married in COVID, and then also too, like I got married around the time we were doing Uprising. I almost got married in November 8th. Thank God I did not, because that was like around the time of the voting fiasco. Whew, glad I done that. But yeah, you can follow me on there. I have Facebook, but I don't use it. But yeah, you can follow my Instagram. I like to say I'm a little fashionista, so. But yeah, I'm trying to post more content on there too. So, oh my God, our food's almost done. Our food's pretty much done. All right, I'm just gonna test it out to see if my rice is done now. Rice can be a tricky part. Like sometimes it can still be crunchy. Like I said, if yours is still crunchy and you're still liquidy, cook it a little bit more. Make sure you pull it off. Don't be like me. You put stuff in your mouth and like, don't do that. See, I can cook this just for probably about like 5 minutes more. That's a little bit. But like I said, make sure you keep constantly stirring too. And I'm just gonna set that up. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and cut my cornbread while it's cooking. I'm just gonna cut it in like pizza 6s, 8s, or whatever. Nothing fancy. The people who work here be lucky when I cook food. They get free food from me. I'm checking my rice again. And then I'm gonna just go ahead and get there and put my cornbread on the plate. Better have a bowl. Oh, I do have a bowl. We're gonna use a bowl instead. Because you put your cornbread on top of the jambalaya. So you eat it together. I'm gonna go back in here and just, like I said, you want to constantly stir it because you'll notice when you leave it just for a little bit, like it's gonna start, you can tell like it's gonna start sticking to the bottom. So. But yeah, as you can see too, it is really starting to thicken up as well. It's looking good, it's smelling good in the hood. So yes. Ooh, this looks so good. Like Destiny's Child says, so good, so good, so good. That's the only time you ever hear me say that. All right. We're looking pretty much done. All right. Like I said, if yours is like, if you're like, Addie, my rice is still crunchy, or mine's still super liquidy. Or if you like, now if yours is like, you still crunchy, you still got a little liquid, maybe add a little bit more. But if you still have liquid and your rice is still crunchy, not country, still crunchy, add in, cook it a little bit longer. You want to cook it until it's nice and thick and your rice is fully done. Is there any questions?
Yeah, there's someone saying that is it better to add in the spices into the liquid? How does it change the taste if you add the spice when you're sauteing the onions and the zucchini? So
you want to add your spices when you do the zucchini and the cucumber, because as you can see, I didn't season my zucchini and my okra like I did with my onion and garlic and stuff. Now, even in the recipe, it says I didn't put that on there, but I always want to add seasons, salt and pepper anyways. But it's best to add it when you do the okra and zucchini, because the okra and zucchini get those spice flavors as well. And it all just mixes together better. Compared to like, if you add in your spices before you did your okra, before you cooked your okra and zucchini, that okra and zucchini ain't gonna get that flavor. It's just gonna get it last. And I feel like you're gonna have to add more seasoning to it. Any other questions?
But Elizabeth said your wedding pictures are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I can't say I'm so wholesome. I can get a little ratchet on there, but I'm young. I'm just joking.
just kidding. You're a millennial.
I am a millennial. And we're gonna save the world, y'all. As well as Gen Z. Okay, so our jambalaya is all done. So let's go ahead. We're gonna put some in our bowl. Like I said, this is vegan if you think about jambalaya, because there's really no animal product in here, and I don't think it's none of the stuff I used to. If there's animal product in that tomato, we're gonna have to talk to that company. But let's go ahead with our cornbread. There we go. There we go. We got some jambalaya and some cornbread. I love the smell of cornbread too. It smells so good. But yeah, thanks for joining me today. That's it. We did it just in time. And I hope you all loved it. Like I said, I plan on doing some more cooking classes. I want to do some in the summer, especially with like grilling. I have an indoor grill, so probably do some indoor grilling. I am like grill master in my household. So, and then I want to do something special for Juneteenth as well, too. So, and also, if you want to come to the great state of Minnesota, this is a beautiful state. Like, people don't give us enough credit. A lot of people know us now because of our great revolutionary ways. Now, if you're new to this, we've been on this. But you definitely should come visit Minnesota. Like, we have a good landscape. We have lots of like bike trails and hiking trails here. We have the famous Mall of America. That place is overwhelming. Don't go there. It's overhyped. And I've been here for a long time. It was only good in the 90s, early 2000s when they had Camp Snoopy. That's when it was good. But yeah, definitely visit Minnesota. Summertime is beautiful here. Like, it gets hot in the summer here. Like, people think Minnesota probably hot. We get 100-degree weather here. Plus, we got all these lakes, so it gets humid here. So when I've gone to like North Carolina, more close to the ocean, it's humid, like you can cut the air with the knife. I can kind of handle it because I'm from Minnesota. But yeah, definitely visit and come visit Seward Co-op, where we have a lot of organic, sustainable, and local food and products. And I've been working for about 3 years. I love working here. This is probably the longest job I've had, but like I'm only 28, so you know I still have time. I'm not that old. But yeah, like I said, thank you for joining me today. I hope your food is good. If you joined my last class where I did the fried tilapia, you can do the fried tilapia with this too. It can be a main dish and it can be a side dish. So yeah, thank you all.
Yeah. You also have folks, I just want to mention, that joined for all your classes, and they said they're looking forward to your summer classes and Juneteenth.
Cool.
So there are quite a few folks.
Cool. Yeah, Juneteenth is like, I know I'm a little over time, but I just want to quick talk about Juneteenth here in Minnesota. So Juneteenth here in Minnesota, especially Minneapolis, used to be like a big celebration. It will be done at Theodore Park, but it will kind of start like on Plymouth Avenue in North Minneapolis. And there will be a parade. There'll be like people performing, a bunch of like food vendors. I've even performed there. I've done like an Afrocentric dance there. It was probably like the best celebration ever. People would get up early in the morning to head down to Theodore Park, and everybody joined, like Black people, brown people, indigenous, white people. It was like all of us to come together. We don't do it it went down because there was a lot of like shootings happening. So it kind of like died down and people just like stopped wanting to do it, and the city probably didn't want to give people any permits anyways. But I know they're slowly trying to bring Juneteenth back to what it was, and hopefully we can get it to that point. It's kind of hard now with COVID and knowing that we live in the United States, it's gonna be forever. So hopefully if we get this virus under control, we can do our Juneteenth celebration as well as the state fair. Minnesota State Fair was closed up. But yeah, thank you all for joining me today. I hope you all loved it, and I hope it was good. Have a good one. Good night.